Now, we have the last question that was asked now in 2022, paper 1, question number 8. It asks, a lorry left town A for town B and maintained an average speed of 50 kilometers per hour. So we can write this one, speed is equal to distance over time. This lorry left town A for town B at an average, so this is lorry, 50 kilometers per hour. This is speed. Speed is equals for the lorry. Then a car left town A for town B 42 minutes later and maintained an average speed of 80 kilometers per hour. At the time the car arrived in town B, the lorry had 25 kilometers to cover to town B. Determine the distance between town A and town B. So you will not be given the distance, and then a car left 42 minutes later. Speed 80 kilometers per hour. At the time, the car arrived earlier. When the car is here, the lorry was around here, which is 25 kilometers. So the lorry had 25 more kilometers to cover to town B. Determine the distance between town A and B. So we are being asked for the distance between these 2 points. Okay? Now, what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to equate something. You can equate the time used to by the lorry to cover this distance, and the time or the distance. Remember, the distance is the same, so you can equate the two. Now, let us start. We say after 42 minutes, so the lorry had covered what distance had the lorry covered? What distance had the lorry covered? It had covered. So we are at the lorry, and then we have the car here. Lorry time, because this speed is given in kilometers per hour, we can convert. We can say it's 42 over 60 minutes. So we can decide to divide by 6. We divide by 6, it is 7 over 10 hours. So 7 over 10 hours is the time that the lorry had traveled in 42 minutes. So we are interested in the distance. So speed we know is 50 kilometers per hour. So what is the distance? Speed is equal to distance over time. So distance is S times T. ST. This is 50 times 7 over 10. So this is 35 kilometers. So this lorry had covered 35 kilometers at this point, okay? Yes. And now we have this distance that the lorry is covering in this time. We can call this distance x. Let us call the distance between A and B that we are asked, we can call it x, okay? So let us say that this distance, let me delete this so that I can illustrate better. This distance is x kilometers. Therefore, this distance here is x minus 35 plus 25. X minus 35 plus 25. That is 60. So it is x minus 60 kilometers. Okay? So that's the time now the lorry is moving in this time when the car is moving x kilometers. So now we have the car. Distance that it covers in this time is x kilometers. Its speed is equals to 80 kilometers per hour. So what is the time now it takes to travel from A to B? The time that the car takes to travel from town A to B is time is equals to, we say, speed is equals to distance over time. So time is equals to distance over speed, which is x over 80. And because it is time, you're giving it in hours. Okay? Yes. Then we have, what about the lorry? What time does it take to travel between this point and this, so that you can equate the time and say the time that the car takes to move from town A to B is the time that the lorry moves this distance, x minus 60 kilometers. I hope you know that one is simpler and clear. So that now we can come and say, kama time hapa ilikuwa 2 hours, then the time here is also 2 hours. Or it is 3 hours, you just equate. Now, here, we say distance is, between these two, is x minus 60 kilometers. Speed is equals to 50 kilometers per hour. So what is the time? Time is given as distance over speed, which is x minus 60 over 50. Over 50. And we say it is hours. Now, the task here now is to equate. We have this. This time that is taken by the lorry to move from here to here is the same time taken by the car from point A to point B. And that one can be explained well in the question, that the lorry had left 42 minutes earlier, or the car started moving 42 minutes later. Wakati lorry, it has already covered 35 kilometers. And when the car arrived, the lorry had still some distance to cover. So now, this is the time the lorry takes to move this distance, and it's the same time this takes to here. So this time is equal to this. That is what we are supposed to equate. And say that, I hope now this one will not be confusing. Let me just use this area. And say that now x over 80 is equals to x minus 60 over 50. Just equate this and solve. Now you have to cross multiply. You have 50x is equals to 80 in brackets x minus 60. You can simplify this, the zeros. So you have 5x. You just divide both sides by 10. 10 over 10. If you feel, remember when it is a multiple. But if you don't feel confident, you can just open it. I think we can just open it so that you are not confused. Let us not cancel. So that you're not confused. But we are going to demonstrate that it is the same thing. The answer, when you cancel the zeros, is the same when you don't. So this is 50x equals to 80x minus 8 times 6. That should be 48. 4800. Then now you can decide to take x on one side. 50x minus 80x equals to negative 4800. So this one is negative 30x is equals to negative 4800 over negative 30, negative 30. X is equals to negative divided by negative is positive. So now, this one is positive, sorry. Negative divided by negative is positive. So for 80 divided by 3, you have 1, and you have 160. 160. 160 what? We were looking for, just x is 160. But we had said x is the distance between the two. So when you asked about the distance, which is 160 kilometers per hour. Now suppose, so this is the answer, okay? I just want to demonstrate, if you cancel here the zeros, what will happen? What will happen? And I do not want to mess up my work. But we are just done. So this one we can just rub and see what will happen. So we have seen it is 160 kilometers. So we are testing again. So cancel zeros and you have 5x is equals to 8. Sorry, we are cancelling at this point. At this point, where before we open this bracket, we have 5x equals to 8x minus 60. 5x is equals to 8x minus 480. So see, it's only that you don't have 0 here, and 0 there. Now this one is negative 5x minus 8x is equals to negative 480. Negative 3x is equals to negative 480. Negative 3, negative 3. X is equals to, again, 160 kilometers. So this again is the answer. Now, you will have an answer. It depends. There are two ways of doing this. And you can equate it at the distance or the time. This time we have equated the time. You could have found the distance that is covered here and say, you say the distance that the lorry takes is this plus this plus this. That is x. You can just find a way of equating the two, but I think in this question, equating the time is easier. I had seen someone else doing about the distance, but just know that you are going to equate for the car and the lorry. You equate something so that if it is the same, and it can be the distance or the time because the speeds you are given in terms of x or the variable that you decide to use. So now this one is easy, and what I would say, you need to practice. This is the last question we have done for 2022 on linear motion. I'll get to the question for 2023 and do it, and you need to do practice and more practice on the same. Bye for now. Remember to subscribe to my channel, by the way, and share it with your friends. Thank you.